Hey look, Nickelodeon's actually starting to try again. They've kind of been in a weird place these past few years, putting way too much faith in SpongeBob, handling shows that could have brought a lot more eyes looking in their direction terribly, and bringing out totally radical, gross-out shows every other month. I still love the network and a lot of its cartoons, but you do have to raise your eyebrows a bit when they do something like turn down Adventure Time for something like Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Good thinking.
Now granted, that was a few years ago now, and recently I've been hearing a lot of praise going to their latest show, The Loud House. I've been wanting to check out this new tune on the block for a while now. It looked quirky and fun from the theme song and trailers. I don't know why it took me this long to watch it. Oh wait, yep, now I do. But is this new cartoon worth your time? Let's go find out. The concept of the Loud House is a fairly simple one. A boy named Lincoln Loud lives with his 10 sisters in the same house, and learns to deal with the ups and downs that come with being in such a big family. I heard this idea and was interested straight away. I instantly started to wonder, how did the creators handle such a ginormous main cast? And what would all their personalities be like? Well, to my surprise and delight, they actually handle the giant cast really well. It seems like the writers and character designers put a lot of work and care into making each sister and Lincoln feel likable, varied, and actually act like a kid. Well, most of the time.
You say tomato, I say solanum lico persico.
My point is, while they can still all be summed up by one simple character trait, they still all feel like authentic members of a cluttered family. I've seen shows with big casts before, and there's usually 2 or 3 characters that you either forget about, don't care about, or just downright do not like. So props to the creator of the show, Chris Savino, for going the extra mile and putting care into each and every individual sister. It also helps that this guy has worked on like every freaking cartoon ever made, like wow.
Oh, you're scared of the dark. I am not. You're the one who's scared. I'm not afraid of anything. Boo.
Okay, time to talk about each sibling. Buckle up everyone, we could be here for a while. Let's go with youngest to oldest. First up is the baby, Lily. Well, she's a baby alright. Not much to say here, she laughs, she's cute, she says poo-poo a lot. Moving on. Second is... Oh hey, it's Eileen from Regular Show. What you doing here, Eileen? Go back to the coffee shop or... space, or whatever the heck Regular Show's doing these days. Lisa's the 4-year-old brainiac/scientist of the family, which is really funny since, again, she's only 4 years old.
You poor, fragile Homo sapiens.
She's often making sarcastic comments about the other family members being dumber than her, and blowing stuff up with her science experiments going wrong.
I'm still alive!
Also, her name being Lisa can't be a coincidence. Third, we have the twins, Lola and Lana. Lola loves all things beautiful and princessy stuff and tea parties and glitter, and it's probably seen Frozen and Tangled 10,000 times.
Someone say, tea party!
Thank you, Lincoln!
She kinda reminds me of Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls reboot, but with much less
Yes!
and much more likability. Meanwhile, Lana is the complete opposite. She's a classic tomboy. Dirt frogs and mud pies are her thing.
Lana, heel!
I find her antics pretty funny, especially in episode 1B. Aw, she's a little hall monitor.
She's making a crawl for it!
Next is Lucy, the fan-favorite poetic gothic 8-year-old.
Black and white are my favorite colors.
Yeah, it'll make watching my show a little bit more, spooky.
Spooky is also my favorite color.
She's way into Twilight, and every line that comes out of her mouth always makes me chuckle. The goth girl is becoming a bit of an overdone character type at this point, but I still like Lucy. She works well in contrast with the other sisters in the house.
Hey Lucy, do you want to go ghost hunting with me?
Why would I want to hunt my friends?
Now here's the main man himself, Lincoln Loud. He is the main character, so you'll get to know him the most. He's resourceful and cunning, and always breaking the fourth wall to give the audience tips and tricks on how to survive such a big family.
Like I said, I might not be the fastest, and I might not be the strongest, but to get all of my sisters out of the way, it pays to have a plan.
You forgot.
It's kind of strange that he has white hair, since no one else in the family does. Could he be adopted? Now that would make an interesting plot twist later in the series, though I doubt it would happen because of the light-hearted nature of the show. Maybe here or here, but certainly not here. Yo, it's Lynn. She likes sports. She's the rough and tumble sister that says this legendary line.
You know, I'm noticing a complete lack of balls in this room. No soccer balls, no footballs, no baseballs, no balls.
Yeah, that was a thing they did. I'll bet she's the type to play FIFA or Madden all day, but then goes and makes fun of the nerd kids for playing Pokemon at school. And then she goes and plays Pokemon Go like 2 years later, like what the heck? Ahem. But yeah, Lynn's cool. The fourth oldest is Luann, who is by far the best one. She tells really lame jokes and puns, and is the only one that laughs at them.
That's the brightest idea you've had all day! Oh, I thought I was staying in tonight, but I guess I'm going out!
She's such a dork. It makes me laugh more than any other character. Just listen to that giggle. Next is Luna, who has an awesome name by the way. She's the charming rocker of the bunch, often providing background montage music for Lincoln.
Hey bro, TV tonight is gonna be rockin'! Yeah!
She's kinda cringy sometimes, especially when she puts on that Cockney British accent. But again, she's so eccentric it's hard not to like her.
Come on love, hand over those tickets!
If you don't speak up, you can't win!
Hand over the bleeding tickets, mate!
Second to last, we have Lenny. She's, okay, she's the dumb one, basically. A happy and blissful girly girl, and is very funny, but overall, yeah, she's the dumb one.
I still can't see! Open your eyes. It's a miracle!
Though I do have to give her credit for still trying her hardest to do things, like learning to drive, despite not being so clever.
Lenny, what are you doing?
I'm not Lenny. I'm wearing a scarf.
And finally, we have the oldest sibling, Laurie. Being the oldest, she's been through it all, and it shows by her somewhat aggravated demeanor.
Lynn! I'm still waiting on that pedicure!
But she's still fun-loving, and usually the voice of reason and most mature.
It's right in Dad's sightline.
Feet off the seat!
Goodness gracious, one of these parents is bad at saying no. Speaking of the parents, they are present for a lot of the episodes, but you never see their faces. It's a nice throwback to some older cartoons. Reminds me of stuff like Tom and Jerry. You'll see a lot of classic cartoon inspiration from this show actually. The art style is very reminiscent of newspaper comic strips and the old Peanuts cartoon.
Peanuts! By Schultz.
Especially this one scene where the sisters find out that a girl at school has a crush on Lincoln, and they all scream in joy with varying animations. See? Even Lucy the goth girl's all happy. See, this is what I meant earlier. They all still act like real kids. She may be goth and depressing a lot of the time, but that's not her only emotion. She's shown having fun and doing kid stuff all the time too, just like the rest of her sisters. Most, if not all of the episodes involve Lincoln getting annoyed and trying to change something about his family or life. It always ends with Lincoln learning to deal with whatever the problem was and make the most of it.
You know, I may have missed my show, but sometimes it's not about being there first. Sometimes it's about being there together.
I think the message the Loud House is going for is that family life can be really fun, even when super hectic. It's like it says in the extended theme song, maybe this crazy's not that bad. The comedy of this cartoon comes from seeing how each character reacts to different situations, like how Lucy would act in a band, or how Lenny would react to there being treasure hidden in their back garden. You'll want to keep watching the show episode after episode to see what kind of shenanigans your favourite character gets into, and to see with how their personality meshes with the situation.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
To get to the other side! To run away from the cook! To prove he's no chicken!
There are plenty of visual gags for each character too, which I adore. Like Luann in this scene, where it's super hot out and she's cooling herself down with her comedic squirt flower. This is a nice touch. The humour can get a bit, odd sometimes. There's a lot of gross out jokes, and there's this one scene where Lincoln's best friend, who has a crush on her sister Laurie, sees her, freaks out, and then has a massive nosebleed. Okay. 8 out of 10 times though, I'll be laughing at least a little bit at the jokes.
Who's your favorite singer? Lady Gaga! What's your favorite Hawaiian platter? Boo-boo!
Although the Loud House has a lot of comedic moments, what really stood out for me most while watching the episodes is that it's actually way more heartwarming than anything to me. It's got plenty of nice bonding moments and a bunch of episodes that end with something sweet that will always make you smile. It's to be expected with a premise like this that there'll be lots of character development further on. I especially look forward to episodes seeing on how the other siblings deal with being in the Loud family. So far, I think all but one episode has had Lincoln as our main character. In episode 17A, we get to see Luna be the lead. And yes, Chris Savino, I want to see more of this kind of stuff. All of the siblings spend a lot of time together, so their bond feels very real, and again, heartwarming. I'm sure all the little kids out there will be watching the show and rooting for the sister that reminds them of themselves. It's a very relatable show. I only have one sister, but even I could relate to a few of these scenarios.
In my family, every day is a challenge. But you can be sure that when I need them, my sisters will always be there for me. And sure, life in the Loud House can be summed up in one word: chaos. But I love that chaos, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Aww, thank you, Lincoln.
Cramped inside this tiny space may sound bad, but ain't the case in the loud house. Suck and dodge and push and shove. That's the way we show our love in the loud house. Laundry pile, sack of pie, hand-me-downs that make me cry. Stand in line to take a pee, never any privacy. Chaos with 11 kids. That's the way it always is in the loud house.
I've been watching a lot of very emotional and deep shows recently, so sitting all the way through a nice, light-hearted and quirky show about a loving family has actually been really refreshing. It is starting to seem like Nickelodeon has been actually listening to everyone's complaints. They're making a lot less shows like Breadwinners and Sanjay and Craig, and bringing out more down-to-earth cartoons like The Loud House and last year's Harvey Beaks. Also, Steven Hillenburg is back on SpongeBob, and I hear it's actually starting to get really good again. Is The Loud House enough to bring Nick back to its former glory? Not quite, but it's still an amazing show in its own right. And I still have faith in you, Nickelodeon. Overall, I'd say The Loud House is a great cartoon. It can be a bit repetitive in terms of comedy and episode formula, but all in all the show's handled with a lot of care and comes off as sweet and fun. If you're looking for a hectic yet heartwarming cartoon with a varied and colourful cast, then this one's for you. This has been TorchSheep, and thanks a bunch for watching.